business. Hi folks, it's me, Michaela. Welcome back to my channel. Today I will be doing a little fun trend, as always. Do I have a single individual idea? No, but we love it. So today I'm going to be telling you about 23 books I'm excited to read in 2023 because it's the end of the year, so we have that end of the year content to be making. Again, I'm home for the holidays. I had to run away from my family to record, and by run away I mean I didn't want them to see me recording, so I needed to find somewhere they could find me, which evidently is apparently just downstairs. I have actually made notes for this today. I know it's shocking. I actually planned for the video. Color-coded and everything. Look at this, guys. It's great. 23 books I'm excited to read in 2023. So I have these kind of in little categories. One might think that I would make these categories by the genre of the book, but no, absolutely not. I refuse to do that. My categories only make sense probably to me. So the first category that I'll be talking about is sequels to series that I have already started reading that I would like to continue or finish reading. The first on the list is Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo. This is the second in the Six of Crows duology, which also is in the Grisha-verse, which is the same universe as the Shadow and Bone trilogy. I read Six of Crows this year, gave it 5 stars, absolutely loved it. It was in my best books of 2022 video. Actually, I loved it so much, so I'm really excited to read the second book in that duology. Is there a tractor outside? The second book in the duology in the coming year, so I can finish that out and hopefully love it just as much as I love the first. The 2 other books that are sequels in series that I'm currently reading that I'd like to finish are the final 2 books in the Inheritance Games trilogy by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, which is the Hawthrone Legacy and then the Final Gambit. The Final Gambit came out near the end of this year. I'm kind of hoping that by the time I get to it that it'll be released in the paperback, because I bought the first book in the paperback, and then so I want to get the second book in the paperback, but then of course the third book just came out, so the third book isn't in the paperback, but heaven forbid I have mismatching books. That sounds like a nightmare. So I'm just gonna like cross my fingers and hope that it was popular enough that the paperback will come out quickly and then I can snatch that up and finish the series. Next series is kind of, I don't know if it's like a series on its own, but it's a series on its own, but it's also kind of like a sequel. Mistborn Era 2. It's like its own series within a bigger series almost. So it's kind of like, it's going to be bridging the gap here in my categories between series I'm currently reading and I want to finish and series I want to read, because I feel like it's kind of in between. Like it's continuing the Mistborn, but it's a new series within, because I just don't know what to define it as. I'm confused, okay? But I want to read them. So Mistborn Era 2 is 4 books. Again, the 4th book came out at the end of this year. There seems to be a trend in that I am just very behind in reaching things. I keep finding series that are releasing new things, but then I haven't read any other ones, so now I'm just reading backlists all the time. I will never catch up. Here. Those 4 books in Mistborn Era 2 by Brandon Sanderson is The Alloy of Law, Shadows of Self, The Bands of Mourning, and The Lost Metal, which came out in November. I read Mistborn Era 1 this year, and it also made my best books of 2022 list, hence why I'm so excited to continue reading more of these books next year. You see a trend. Cause, effect. Wait, why did I do that? Cause, effect. The next category is series that I want to read in full. I want to read the whole series next year. I'm trying to keep up with my series game so that I don't end up with like an unspeakable number of series that I'm like in the middle of that I have not either caught up or finished, and then I'll be like overwhelmed and then I'll just sit in the corner and cry or something instead of reading the series, because I'll realize that I need to finish like 60 series or something. So I'm trying to do my best to like read things together, or at least be conscious of how many series I have on the go, because also like I'm the kind of person where like I like to refresh. If I don't read the next book in a series close enough to the one I just read, then I'm gonna want to reread that, and then I'm just gonna tumbly down the hill, giant snowball, you know, it accumulates. I'll never finish the series ever if I do that, so I'm trying to be good. Those series there are 2 in total. They're both trilogies. The first is the Greenbone Saga by Fonda Lee, which is Jade Legacy, Jade War. Wait, no. Jade City, Jade War, Jade Legacy. Again, a trend, Jade Legacy came out this year. Wow. I'm behind again by multiple books in a series. That is a whole little trilogy I'm very excited to read. I was gonna read it this year, but I kept thinking that I was gonna love it, so I wanted to get hardcovers of it, but then like hardcovers of it like apparently like don't exist. Like I can't find them. Like Indigo? Why are there no hardcovers of Jade City ever? Where are they? So I might have to just get the paperbacks and like suffer, you know? But I don't know. Anyway, they're on the list. I want to read them. And then the other trilogy that I want to read is the Poppy War trilogy by R.F. Kuang. This, again, has been on my little listy list of fantasy books that I want to read. And so I'm really hoping to get to it next year. I mean, like, here's the thing. I watch videos of people who read this and they're like, it ruined my life. And I'm like, I want to read that now, you know? So like, that's why Poppy War is up on that list. Bam, bam, bam. So those are the two series that I want to read in full, which is another 6 books. Are we counting here? If we are, that's now 13. I have not been counting. Look, I don't do math. I'm a singer, okay? We only count to 4 and then we start using words. The next category is, what is this? Jeopardy? Yeah, this is like my weird category, which is like series that I'm not putting down in full because like I want to try them out, or it's books that kind of like my reading of them depends on if I like them. So first, like I have like Babel by R.F. Kuang is there, but that kind of depends on, I want to read the Poppy War first, and of course if I don't really like the writing style of the Poppy War, I'm probably not going to read Babel, but I've heard so many good things about Babel. And then my sister got a hardcover of it in her book exchange Christmas thing that she does with people, and I'm really jealous because I want that, but she said I could borrow it, so I can read Babel next year. Have fun. But first I'm going to read the Poppy War. Because for some reason in my head, I like delegated that I need to read the Poppy War trilogy before I read Babel. That is not a real thing that needs to happen, but in my head it does. So I will be doing it. So 2 other series that like I want to try out. I feel like I'll like them, but I don't want to commit, you know. I feel like Jade City and the Poppy War, I'm like pretty confident that I'm really going to like them because they're fantasy series and I like fantasy. Like I have a pretty good idea. I've heard so many good things about it. These other ones, the first is The Thursday Murder Club by Richard Osman. I'm fairly confident I'm going to love this book. I've heard so many good things about it, and I'm really excited to read it, but I'm not as experienced in my knowledge of what I like in mystery and cozy mystery novels, so I don't want to, like, you know, commit to reading the whole series because I might not like it and then not want to continue, and then here we go, a bunch of this list, okay, I'm not going to want to read anymore, and then that will be sad and disappointing. The other one is the Bromance Book Club by Lyssa K. Adams. This one, again, I've heard some good things about it. It's a series where these guys form a book club where they read romance novels to try and better date women or something. It sounds really funny and cute, but I do not touch contemporary romance. Like, that's not a thing I do, because this is the first time somebody's talked about a contemporary romance, and I was like, oh, I might actually want to read that. So, like, I'm not committing to anything, but I'll try it out. I'll give it a little taste. I'll give it a little nibble, see if I likes it. Then we have some standalones that I want to read. I know it's shocking. I didn't even know I read standalones, so we'll see. I don't read many, okay? I'm a series gal. But we have Circe by Madeline Miller. This is on the list because I read Song of Achilles, and Song of Achilles, actually, it has like a little special place in my heart, okay? It's actually the first book I was gifted after I got back into reading. My parents gave it to me last year around Christmas time, but before Christmas, so I could read it before Christmas. And I really enjoyed it, and then it kind of became a book that I passed around, and a bunch of people borrowed it, and then I finally found it again in October because it made its rounds, and now it's all beat up and very well used. It makes me feel happy that part of my dream of having a little library where I can lend books out to people is coming true. Circe is also a Greek myth retelling, and since I really liked Song of Achilles, I thought I should really prioritize trying to get Circe read because I feel like I'll like it. I really like Madeline Miller's writing, so you know, we should give it a go, put it on the list, commit to a standalone read. I believe in myself. Then I also put The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid, just because this book has been on my TBR for like 2 years, at least. Basically, since I started reading again, it's been on my TBR list, and then I just haven't read it, and then I haven't read any of the other Taylor Jenkins reads because for some reason in my head, I feel like I should read this one first because it was the first one I thought about reading. I guess if I really wanted to, like, I should put Daisy Jones in the 6 because that came out before the Seven Husbands one, but, like, I cannot explain how my mind works, but it has decided I must read The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo before I read any other Taylor Jenkins Reid book. So that's what's happening. I cannot explain myself to you. If I could, I would understand myself better. And then the last standalone I have on the list is Notes on an Execution by Danya Kukafka, I believe is how you say their name. I just saw this kind of like floating around BookTube earlier in the year, and everybody that I saw that read it said it was a really impactful read, and I felt like I should try and read some things that will make me think more, that I can be more critical about, that'll have that kind of effect on me and not just fluffy, happy escape reality reads all the time. I'm trying to expand my mind in 2023, but only a little bit because I only put the one on here, okay? I'm still gonna read all of my fluff, don't get me wrong, okay? We love the fluff. I need the escapism. And then just to like round out the list, okay, because that's now been 19 books, so there's 4 left. And I put I put some classics on here. It's classics that I'd like to get to in 2023, you know, keep up my classic game, become educated and familiar with the classic literature. Really, again, I've read some classics and I've enjoyed them, so there's more classics on my list. First, I have Dracula by Bram Stoker. This was just one that I was like, wow, I can't believe I've never read that, so I want to read it. I've never been like a vampire girly, but I was like, maybe if I read the like original vampire, I'll become a vampire girly. I don't know. We'll find out. Then I also put on a couple of Jane Austens because I do want to read more Jane Austen. I read Pride and Prejudice. Why does this rotate so much? Okay. Ow. This is falling apart very quickly. So I put a couple of Jane Austen books on the list. We have Emma and we have Mansfield Park. Emma is because I've heard amazing things about Emma and I want to read Emma because it sounds like a fun time. Mansfield Park is because there's an opera that is based off of Mansfield Park, so I'm interested in the original story that inspired it, okay? That is the only reason it's there. Otherwise, I'm kind of like about it. And then the last book that I am excited to read in 2023 is The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. Now, this is one that I always want to say is The Portrait of Dorian Gray, but apparently it's The Picture. That just seems wrong in my mind. But either way, I want to read it because I want to read classics. I know I haven't really told you anything about these books, and that is because I truly don't know anything about these books, because I'm a person who likes to go into reading books knowing like the bare minimum amount of knowledge. Like, I want the book to surprise me. I want to feel shocked about everything, even if it's in the little synopsis on the back. I like to just go in blind and hope for the best. Is it a good plan? Probably not all the time, but you know, that's the plan I have. There are 23 books I'm excited to read next year in the year 2023, hence the 23 books, you know, how original. My outro at this point is basically me just saying I don't have one, which is like, wow, so unique, so different. So if you guys, you know, enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a like. Comment down below any books you're excited to read in 2023. Are any of them the same as mine? Have you read any of the books on my list? Tell me if they're good. Tell me if they're really bad in your opinion, because then maybe I'll take them off the list. I don't know. Convince me. Convince me to either read or not read these books. Let me know. Help a girl out. Leave a little comment. If you have nothing to say, you know, I don't know, just say hi. I'll say hi back. Wow, a conversation. Make sure you subscribe if you like me. I guess you can do that if you want to stick around. You know, I'd happy to have you. So subscribe. But, you know, no pressure. You don't have to. But do it. But you don't have to, but do it. I should say goodbye to you. I wish you happy holidays. Happy New Year. I hope you're having a good time. I know there's been like insane weather like in Canada. I'm in Newfoundland right now, people, and there's no snow on the ground. What is happening? There's no more snow in Vancouver than there is here. Oh, hi. Benjamin, your bum is in the camera. Oh my god, how inappropriate. Anyway, I will see you guys in the next video. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye. Hi, sir. welcome to the show.